by the re-elect Mayor Clinton Committee, now another progress report from Mayor Clinton.
Never before has business expressed such faith and optimism in Seattle's future. Our changing skyline attests to the fact that our business climate is healthy. Construction, a basic yardstick by which economic conditions are measured, reached an all-time high here in 1959. And Seattle's world's prestige is growing too. To mention a few examples, the Colombo Plan Conference in 1958, our annual trade fairs, and Century 21 Exposition set for 1962. These are good reasons to have confidence in Seattle's place as an important world city.
Seattle's fortune since the late 40s waxed and waned with the Cold War. An inevitable post-war recession hit the city in 1947, but the local economy rebounded with the onset of the Korean War. The Chinese Communist Party came to power in 1949, and throughout the 50s and 60s, the United States waged proxy wars with the Soviet Union in Guatemala, the Congo, and Vietnam. Like the AYPE, the Potlatch and Sea Fair, the World's Fair of 1962, also known as the Century 21 Exposition, contained political subtexts. Originally planned to commemorate the 50-year anniversary of the AYP, the Century 21 Exposition was Seattle's own self-projection of its newfound status as a world-class city, in a world torn asunder by geopolitics. The Space Needle was only one example of the sleek, Cold War architectural aesthetic that pervaded the fairgrounds. The iconic but ultimately useless monorail shuttled around the new city center that housed the fair. The Pacific Science Center stood out among international displays from all four corners and was a pet project of Magnuson, who was busy procuring billions of dollars for the University of Washington's medical program at the same time. Exhibits of new advances in household appliances were housed near exhibits of new advances in medicine, weaponry, and transportation. A perfect juxtaposition for a suburbanizing metropolitan area that owed its growth in size and numbers to the military-industrial complex. President John F. Kennedy's plan to visit the fair was interrupted in October of 1962 with the outbreak of the Cuban Missile Crisis. But even in his absence, the Century 21 Exposition raised Seattle's national profile even higher. Thanks to Boeing, Seattle was already known as the Jet City in the atomic age, when Americans took the prospect of total destruction on planet Earth seriously. The space-age reconstruction of suburban life in the Jetsons was inspired by the World's Fair. Produced by a nation locked in an arms and space race with the Soviet Union, the cartoon about a normal nuclear family, set in the year 2062, was a benign reflection of the life and death struggle between capitalism and communism in 1962. In 1963, the second most popular entertainer in American history starred in It Happened at the World's Fair. The film was a romance comedy about a couple of crop pilots who hitchhiked to Seattle for work. Once they arrive, they stalk the fairgrounds and use the help of a crafty Chinese child to seduce the so-called welfare dolls working as nurses, teachers, and social workers in Seattle. The love story in It Happened at the World's Fair signified the splendid relationship between Seattle and the Cold War liberalism espoused by Henry Jackson, which the city was able to ride out of a depression and into an age of renewed civic vigor, confidence, and growth. Immigration restrictions were relaxed in the 60s, and new waves of Filipino and Korean migrants were able to migrate here. Blacks suffering apartheid in the South migrated to Seattle after World War II, hoping that the city's distance from Jim Crow would make it a more pleasant place to live. Even residents from more established cities became fair-weather fans of the city and its rise.
Puget Sound emerging as megalopolis, Los Angeles Times, February 12, 1967. The population of 3 counties, King, Pierce, and Snohomish, now stands at about 1.5 million. Surveys indicate it will increase by more than 1 million and may even double in 10 years. Puget Sound's prosperity is showing, and its emergence as the Pacific Coast's 3rd megalopolis is within reach. Prosperity and growth are evident everywhere.